Hey, welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles. We're happy to have you with us on the program tonight. And we may have a caller standing by. Caller, are you still there?
Yeah, this is Mark from Marion.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, that's good. Did you get my text the other day?
What was it about, Mark?
The Boy Scouts having a stew.
Oh, when?
Uh, it's gonna be the Marion Boy Scouts. They're having a stew October 18th. For if you want to order any, you can call 336-949-4248, and it's $9 a quart. And I think you pick the stew up at the Marion Boy Scout Hut.
October 18th, the number is 336-949-4248. $9 a quart, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good
Uh,
news.
the, and don't forget to remind people about the one on October 11th. If you still got that
Okay.
wrote down.
I got that wrote down, Mark, and I will remind everybody about that. I sure will.
Okay. Where am I standing at in the standings right now?
Mark, you're tied for 11th. You and the Liberal are tied for 11th place.
Oh Lord. Uh, Put me down for Christopher Bale, number 20.
All right. Mark has the 20 for this week.
Yeah, New
Okay.
Hampshire.
It's in the book, Mark.
Okay. Thanks, Ken.
Well, thanks for calling. More good stew news. October 18th, the Marion Boy Scouts, if you want to call, 336-949-4248. And the stew will be $9 a quart. And as Mark mentioned, I'll also remind you about the Sandy Ridge Stew Festival. Not the Stew Festival, but it's a festival and they're having stew. On October 11th, all the stew you can eat for free if you attend between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. That's at the Sandy Ridge Volunteer Fire Department. So, stews abound. It is that time of year. Um, by the way, we have a phone line open. There's a phone number on your screen. Also have an email address that you can use if you want to take part in the program. The email address, keneckleslive@gmail.com. Excuse me. Still hoarse. Still allergies, I guess. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Ken. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I just wondered if you got up to the Iraq bull ring or not and seen any dirt track.
I have not made it yet, Leon. I will, but excuse me, I haven't been able to make it up there yet. And I apologize for my voice. I'm getting hoarse.
Yeah, you sound a little rough there, Ken.
Yeah. Yeah, I am getting a little rough, but I guess I must be allergies, I guess.
Yeah, some of them fall allergies coming in.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, it's got me.
Yeah. Well, the racing's going to return to Oak Level Raceway next year in Oak Level, Virginia, don't you?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, they finally got it approved, and they're gonna return racing there next March for gonna have it every other weekend.
At Oak Level. Now, where is that? How do we get to that track, Leon? Where exactly is that?
They bypass 220 bypass and keep on going by the Dodge store and on up to the top of the hill there, and you'll be up there. Take a right, and you'll be at the racetrack.
Okie dokie. Well, that's great news. So they'll be starting in the spring.
Yes, sir.
All right, good
Running
news.
running the one in Oak Level also. They're gonna switch every other.
I'm sorry, Leon. I didn't get that. What did you say about they're going to switch?
They're gonna switch every other weekend. They're gonna take a week off and run at the other track.
But is that Oak Level and Arit?
Ararat, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good news. I'm glad racing's coming back to that area.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Leland, you want to make a pick for New Hampshire?
Yeah, I'm gonna take you 6 at New Hampshire,
All right.
and also I want to go ahead and give you my Kansas pick, which would be the 22.
6 for New Hampshire and the 22 for Kansas. Okay, they're in the book, Leon.
All right, nice talking to you, Ken.
Well, thanks for calling. Good to hear from you. Man, I guess I can make it till 8 o'clock. I guess. Phone line is open. There's a number up there on your screen. The email address is keneccleslive@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you either by mail, email, or on the phone. Mr. NASCAR continues in the number one spot in our little NASCAR contest. But a big move made by Mr. Draper this week. Mr. Draper picked the winner at Bristol and moved up 4 spots from number 6 to number 2. So right now it's Mr. NASCAR with 310 points. Mr. Draper is second with 278. Mr. Pelham third with 277. Chat GTP, our artificial friend, dropped to number 4 now with 263 points. Citizen D is 5th with 259. Charles is 6th with 253. Mr. Leaksville, 7th at 249. Pretty Man is 8th with 241. Captain Midnight is 9th with 240. And Leon rounds out the top 10 with 238 points. Then we have the Liberal and Mark tied for 11th with 236. The Lady in Black 13th, or I'm sorry, 12th. I'm sorry, 13th with 220. Early Bird is 14th with 207. And it's Jack in the basement right now with 204 points. So those are the current standings after Saturday night's activity at Bristol. And there was quite a bit of activity at Bristol on Saturday night. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, good evening to you, Ken.
Good evening.
You know, you brought up Mr. Draper, and it brought up a point of curiosity for me.
And what is
I'm
that?
wondering how Mr. Draper is after his incident with the capsation.
He's okay. I got email from him the next day, and I think he sent another email the day after that. It said he was much better. He had a scary experience for him and all of us. But he said he flushed his eyes with water. No WD-40. Flushed his eyes with water, and it gradually got better. And last I heard from them, it looks like he's okay.
Outstanding. Very good. Like I said, it was a point of curiosity. I thank you for your time.
Okay, well, thanks for calling. So yes, good news about Mr. Draper. I know a lot of people are wondering about that. But looks like he's okay. He may give us an update at some point in the next hour about that. But I think that one had a happy ending. Thank the Lord. Got a couple of emails to get to over here. And we'll start with this one. Ken, I want to know how come you don't like Pretty Man? Pretty Man seems like a decent sort of fellow to me. Don't you think you should give him more consideration? I think I give Pretty Man as much consideration as he warrants. I don't know what else to say about. Pretty Man speaks for himself now and then. And I deal with Pretty Man in the way that I deem appropriate. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing, Ken?
Good, Early Bird. How are you?
Well, tell me what's my standings now. I gave 3 points, I believe.
You were out. You're not last. Yes, you are 3 points ahead of last place. Jack is in the basement.
Am I?
Jack's in the basement, and you are number 14.
Well, I'll be there. That's good. I gave 3 points. I said, well, I guess I didn't go for this time either.
Well, you're moving in the right direction. You're up.
Yeah, but at least I'll move one spot up, didn't I? Well, I just called the tail end of Mr. Draper. What happened to Mr. Draper?
Mr. Draper got capsaicin. You know what capsaicin is? It's this real spicy stuff. And
I don't know what it is.
well, it's a really spicy kind of. Is it a pepper? I guess it is. Anyway, it's hot and spicy, and he got some in his eyes the other night, and he called us up, and he said it was burning his eyes, and he couldn't see. He couldn't open his eyes and see, and he was trying to figure out what to do. Anyway, different people made different suggestions. What he ended up doing, based on the email I got from him the next day, he just flushed his eyes out with cool water, and it gradually got better. So I think he's all right now.
Okay, yeah. That's what to say, you flush your eyes out with water, something like that. But
yeah, but he was
I
having he was having a real bad time there when he called us, but looks like he'll be okay.
Okay, what are the rest of that this week?
New Hampshire is where they're going this week.
Is that a round or road course?
That's an oval.
That's a what?
It's not a road course. It's an oval track.
Okay, I'm gonna take Danny Hamlin.
All right, the number 11 for Early Bird.
Yeah, I'm gonna take number 11. Yeah.
It's in the book.
Okay, is there any news going around? What's Charles been up to, you know?
You mean Charles Rourke?
Yeah, Charles Rourke, yeah.
I
wonder if you heard any news on him.
Who in the world knows what Charles has been up to? I don't even know. I don't even know if he's in the country right now. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, how did that guy finish that that Philippine woman? What did he come in on his call?
Charles from Danville.
Yeah, what did he come in?
Well, let's see. Where is he?
He had 54. Did he pick a 54 number?
Yeah, he had number 54, and it almost turned out good. 54 led more than 200 laps, but didn't win. But he finished okay, and Charles is number 6 now. The 54, I think 54 finished 10th after leading 200 and some laps.
Well, that's better than what I've been. That's
Well, yeah, but next week will be your week, though.
Yeah, I hope so. I wish you could move on up and win one anyway. It's been a while. Well, I'll let you go. Let somebody call in. I'll talk to you later, kid.
Well, thanks,
Bye.
Early Bird. We appreciate that. Yeah, Charles from Danville, not Charles. I don't get to talk to Charles. I'm not important enough to talk to Charles Rourke, but I can talk to Charles from Danville. He picked the 54 because of the sponsor. That's the one that says he gets us, the Jesus sponsor. And that's Ty Gibbs. He led more laps than anybody if you saw the race, you already know this. He led more laps than anybody, more than 200 laps, and then he finished 10th. Anyway, Charles got a little bit out of it, and he's still well up in the top 10 at number 6. Let's look at another email, perhaps one that will not be about Pretty Man. We'll give it a second. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Ken. This is Hillbilly calling from Martinsville.
Hey, how are you?
Fair, I guess. I've been through the major part of the cancer deal, and by God's grace, I'm still on the earth and thankful for it. I'd like to say hi to Charles in Danville and Mark from Mayodan.
Okay, well, I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
All right, and the man was asking about Charles Rourke. Charles and Louise been in Danville all afternoon at the fair, and they were live for about 2 or 3 hours, just acting like a couple of monkeys.
Well, it's the fair. You know, we're supposed to have fun at the fair. Did Charles eat anything that you saw?
No, sir. They had some kind of spinning wheel there, and they were giving away, of course, movie tickets from Hollywood Mountain there, and T-shirts from Nelson, and oil changes, and some food coupons from several places, and you could spin the wheel for free, and people were just skeptical of it, but a lot of people did it. They gave away a lot of good stuff. Nelson sponsored it.
That's good. Well, that's good. I'm glad Charles is doing something worthwhile today.
Yeah, he was got out there dancing one time. You know, he's feeling good.
Yeah, I just as soon not see that, but maybe some people like it.
Yeah, I wish I'd have went to commercial on that part myself. But he sure was feeling good, and they had a lady with them from representing Nelson, so they all seemed to be having a good time. So
well,
good for. They had yes, sir, and they had a real big crowd for a Monday night. I mean, the people just kept rolling in.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I love fairs. We used to have a Rockingham County fair. We don't have one anymore, but I used to love to go to the fair.
Yeah, I did too in my younger days, but I can't do all that walking now.
Well, you know, sometimes we can't do everything we want to do. But I hope you're feeling pretty good today, and we all are saying a prayer for you.
I certainly appreciate it, Ken.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for calling.
Yes, sir. Y'all take care.
Good night. Hillbilly, of course, going through some health problems, a serious health situation, and don't forget him when you say your prayers. Phone line is open. There's the number. The address is at keneckleslive@gmail.com. Citizen D. Here's one from Citizen D. Citizen D is fading fast. Please put me down next week for the 11th. Well, Citizen D is not. He's not fading all that much. Where is the Citizen? Citizen D is in 5th place. 259 points. 51 points out of first. There's plenty of time for a comeback. And Citizen D takes the 11 for New Hampshire. So that's 2 folks who will be riding with Denny Hamlin in New Hampshire. Then Citizen D says, also tell Briscoe still no phone service at my dad's in Huntsville. And I think I will call them tomorrow just to cancel his phone, as their customer service is the worst ever. Luckily, a cell phone works in Huntsville and is more reliable than Brightspeed, says Citizen D. Some other phone service needs to replace Brightspeed in the Huntsville area because it is worthless. Citizen D's dad still without a phone. How long has that been going on? I guess pretty close to 2 weeks. He says his dad's phone hasn't been working. Briscoe has had better luck, at least at last report. Briscoe's phone was working. And Citizen D, I hope somebody will come and fix your dad's phone soon. We'll continue to hope for that. Mr. Draper has sent me a picture here of the capsation tube that he used. He says, my doctor told me to rub this on my feet and toes for numbing, burning, tingling, and electric nerve pain. I rubbed it on my shoulder and wrist first. Then I wiped my fingers on a paper towel. I used the towel to wipe my eyes later and got lit up. Then I used my fingers and it was still on them, so I made it worse. I got to work at this type of learning technique. Thank you again, Ken. So that's how Citizen D, not Citizen D, that's how Mr. Draper got that stuff in his eyes. He was using it as an application for his feet and toes for the numbing. I guess that's neuropathy, I guess. And he accidentally got it on a paper towel and then on his fingers, and then he got it in his eyes. So let that be a lesson to all of us. But it looks like flushing with cool water eventually did the trick as far as getting him through that. And Citizen D, I keep calling him Citizen D. Mr. Draper wanted me to thank everybody who called up and tried to help him, and everybody who was rooting for him through that. But it had a good finish. Hi, Ken. Mr. Leaksville here. I fell into the reach of Pretty Man. Oh, you're pretty close. You are really close. I fell into the reach of Pretty Man, so I have to make some drastic measures. Give me Chastain for the New Hampshire race this Sunday. I feel like the winner will be a driver that isn't scared to rattle some cages. Okay, Mr. Leaksville is taking the Watermelon Man for New Hampshire, somebody who will rattle some cage. Well, if anybody will rattle a cage, certainly Ross Chastain will. And Mr. Leaksville is in the unfortunate position of being just 5 points, only 5 points ahead of Pretty Man. And obviously, Mr. Leaksville is concerned, and I would think embarrassed, if not appalled by that. And let's see if he can do something about that. 5 points ahead of Pretty Man. Hello, Ken. I read that the fall foliage is going to be really dull this year. Of course, it's too early to tell, and we've not seen anything happen yet. But that's what I read today, that the leaves will just not be very good this year, maybe because of Helene. What have you heard? Well, I've heard the same thing that you've heard. I've heard that it's going to be, what word did they use? Well, I'm not going to look for that now. I think the article I read said that the fall foliage will be unexciting. I think it's a word they used, unexciting this year. Is it because of damage from Helene last year? They speculate, again, this is in the story that I read. They speculate that perhaps leftover damage from Helene last year is going to have some effect on the fall foliage. They also talk about insects. Apparently, a lot of pesky insects out there right now, and some tree diseases. I have in front of me, but I don't. But those are they mentioned Helene. They mentioned tree disease, and they mentioned a horde of insects, all of them working together, and they say that it may very well limit the beauty of the fall foliage this year. I guess we won't know until it's time for the fall foliage. As you point out, emailer, it's too early to really make a judgment on that right now. But anyway, that's what they're speculating, that it's just not going to be as pretty this year as it normally is. Which, of course, is more bad news. If that turns out to be the case, more bad news for Western North Carolina, as though they haven't had enough bad news already. because they pretty much entirely lost the fall foliage season last year. And it's pretty easy to understand this, but a lot of the businesses, restaurants, and motels and things in Western North Carolina, uh, the fall foliage season is their big money-making time of year. And it was essentially wiped out last year by Helene. And now, if this is true, it may not be as good this year as it normally is. Um, so just a double whammy for the folks in Western North Carolina. Let's hope that won't be the case. This one says, "Hey, Ken, this is Jack back in the basement again. Put me down for the number 19 this week, Chase Briscoe." Yes, Jack is again inspecting the cellar, but he chooses Chase Briscoe, the 19 at New Hampshire, to perhaps get him out of the basement. Jack is down there with 204 and Early Bird with 207. And not too far ahead is the Lady in Black with 220. So we have a pretty exciting fight for the basement right now. So we'll see how that one goes. So that's in the book, 19 for Jack. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Mr. Ken.
Good evening. Wow, you are loud. You got a new phone?
No, I talked to the guy who was supposed to fix it. I kind of dangled him outside of a helicopter and talked to him.
You dangled him. You dangled the guy outside of a helicopter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, often that will improve service.
Oh yeah, I was nice to him. I had a rope. I had him hooked up to a rope, so I wasn't going to drop him.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that sounds to me like you took appropriate precautions.
Yeah, I didn't want to get sued.
Plus, if you drop him, then he can't work on your phone.
Oh, true. Oh, I apologize for being late, sir.
Okay. What is your excuse?
I had a long distance call come from the Philippines.
Philippines, a long distance call from the Philippines. Well, I guess that would have to take priority, wouldn't it?
Yes, but I'm sorry. I know you're the number one show on Star News, but she takes priority over you, sir. Sorry.
I assume that they're in the Philippines. They watch me on the internet. Is that right?
She didn't say. We were busy talking about important to me.
All right. Well, I understand. I just assumed that most people watch us on the internet in the Philippines. So I'll continue to assume that.
Okay, that's good. Where do I finish? I want to get down to business now.
You are six. You're in sixth place right now. Did you see the race by any chance?
Yes, I watched it, but my guy came in 10th.
He came in 10th, but he led more laps than anybody. It really looked like he was going to win there for a while.
Yeah. Well, we were rooting for him, but we'll settle for 6. We're not mad. We're good.
All right. Well, that's where you are. You're number 6. You're at 253 points. So you are 57 points out of first place in 6th.
Where's the next race?
New Hampshire. New Hampshire.
Now, okay, is that an oval?
1 mile oval. Yes, it's an oval.
Oh, so this recalls for a specialist, right?
An oval specialist? I don't
know
if there are any oval specialists.
Well, I meant to say, I thought I had to go with the 88 because he's you said circle track. I meant to say circle, yes, but I don't need him in this race then.
No, you don't need a specialist until the Roval in Charlotte coming up in a couple of weeks.
Well, so I will hold the 88 in reserve for the Charlotte race.
All right, I think that's good strategy.
Yes, but for the next race, I'm going with the 12.
Okay, Charles from Danville takes Ryan Blaney for New Hampshire. That's in the book. Hey,
Hey,
have you been to the fair?
no, sir, I've been busy. The boss,
Okay.
the boss, yeah, they've been keeping me busy. I got to keep up. I got to keep up with the work because I'm working to go on vacation.
Oh, so you have to get stuff done in advance to go on vacation. Well, now, as one thing I don't understand about that. How do you clean the parking lot in advance?
Well, I don't know how to do that, but most likely I won't be there that week. But
Okay.
yes, I am. Well, I want. If I thought I can get 2 weeks off, I was planning on going to run down to the Philippines and go do something with her. But looks like I'm just gonna have to stay home.
So
But I can.
you got 1 week then.
Well, see, I'll take a vacation this week. I have to go back to work, and I'll get to take my other one the week after, maybe.
Oh, so you'll be on vacation 2 out of 3 weeks.
Yeah. So I'll get to take one that week, but they won't let me take two back to back. I
Well, now,
was planning on.
wait a minute. How long does it take to fly to the Philippines?
I don't know, but I was planning on borrowing a fighter jet.
All right. I think in just a regular airliner that in maybe 12 hours.
Yeah, 12 hours there, stay for about a week, come back the following weekend. That would be good.
Well, you could manage that in
Yeah, yeah. But I'm just going to go out to the Bermuda Triangle, hang out in my yacht.
the Bermuda Triangle. All right. Well, who knows? You might wind up in the Philippines. Strange things happen out there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I might just go to sleep while I'm sleeping. Probably end up in her neighborhood.
All right. Well, keep us posted on that. If that happens, we'd certainly like to hear about it.
Okay, sir. Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling. Can you fly to the Philippines in 12 hours? It might take a little longer than somebody tell me how long it takes to fly to the Philippines. I'm curious about that now. Phone line is open at that number up there on the screen. The address is kennickleslive@gmail.com. And let's see. This emailer says, I'm really glad to hear that Mr. Draper's eyes came out okay. That was really scary. That was the scariest thing I think that's ever happened on your show. So thank goodness that Mr. Draper is okay and will be much more careful with capsation in the future. Well, yeah, I think you're probably correct. I think you're probably correct on that. I'm going to expect that Mr. Draper will be way more careful with capsation in the future. I expect. It's like me. That's how I learned not to eat too much oatmeal. When I was maybe, I don't know, how old was I? Maybe 5 years old, maybe. I discovered oatmeal, and I thought it was really good. So I sat down one night and ate oatmeal until I couldn't eat anymore. But I was not able to keep it on board all night long. I kind of woke up in it in the middle of the night. And that taught me moderation in oatmeal, and moderation in all things, including oatmeal. That is forever a good policy. I'm telling you, folks, whatever it is that I'm right now is nasty, nasty stuff. Ken, do you remember when the fair? Oh yeah, I mentioned we used to have a Rockingham County fair. Actually, we used to have a Reedsville fair. I said a Rockingham County fair. We used to have a Reedsville fair, and there used to also be a Leakesville fair. There used to be all kinds of fairs. Anyway, The emailer says, Ken, do you remember when the fair was out there where the Penrose Mall is now? I don't know what year they stopped having it out there, but that's the place I remember the fair from, out there on South Scale Street. And then they moved it somewhere else. I don't know where it went after that. And then it just went away entirely. I'm just wondering, did you ever go to the fair out there where the Penrose Mall is? Oh, yeah. I went to the fair where the Penrose Mall is. They had the fair out there, I think. I'm going to be close on this, but I'm also probably going to be wrong. So somebody who knows can correct me. I think that the last time they had the fair out there was around 1967. I think 1967 was the last year they had the fair where the Penrose Mall is. Because then they built the Penrose Mall and obviously didn't have the fair there anymore. I think 67 was the last year of the Reidsville Fair at the Penrose Mall. Those of you who are saying right now, no, that's not right. That's not right. He's wrong again. Tell me, call and tell me what the correct year was. Because I'm going with 1967 for the last Reidsville Fair out there at South Scale Street and Turner Drive. And yeah, emailer, I went to the fair there probably every year. Every time there was a fair out there during, I got there because I used to love that. And I would go straight to the Ferris wheel. When I would get to the fair, I would just run away. If I was with my parents or whoever I was with, I would just break and run and get to the Ferris wheel. Of course, once I got to the Ferris wheel and I remembered I didn't have any money to buy a ticket, so then I had to stand there. I had to stand there and wait for my dad or my sister or whoever it was to come along and buy me a ticket on the Ferris wheel. That's my favorite thing. This is absolutely my all-time favorite thing at the fair was the Ferris wheel. And after that, what was my second favorite thing? After that, the bumper cars, but they didn't always have bumper cars. I think they had bumper cars sometime, and sometimes they didn't. But they always had a Ferris wheel. Okay, Ken, you are wrong. Well, then, this doesn't surprise me. This emailer says, you are wrong. The last time they had the fair at where the Penrose Mall is was 1968. You said 1967, but 1968 is the correct year. Okay. I didn't say I was going to, I said I was close. Before I said that, I said this will be close. It may not be right, but it'll be close. And 1968 is close. 1967 and 1968 are very close to each other. So I was not right, but I was close. And the other emailer said that when it left there, they didn't know where it went. It went out on Highway 14, just down the hill. As you leave Reidsville, just go down the hill there, and the fairgrounds was on the left. At the what road is that? Bethlehem Church Road that intersects with 14 out there. Out there at 14 and the Bethlehem Church Road is where the fairgrounds went. And I don't think it lasted much longer after that. I don't know how many years. I only went out there once. And I guess by that time I was old enough that the fair didn't appeal to me as much anymore. It became became old and sophisticated and concerned with more worldly things than the fair. But that's what we do. Anyway, that's where it went, from the Penrose Mall area out there, out on 14. And this emailer says, Ken, they had a whole lot of stuff out there where the Penrose Mall is now. I don't know if you remember this, but they used to have a baseball field out there. You know, I don't have memory of the baseball field out there. I have knowledge of the baseball field because my dad used to tell a story. If you knew my father, you may have heard this story, where he was on a baseball team that they were playing out there one day at the fairgrounds, and he was catching, and they didn't have a catcher's mask. Or somehow they had a baseball game without a catcher's mask. He called and paid a price for it. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go, please.
You can just call me Hotfoot now.
Hotfoot. How are you seeing these days?
Oh, well, I'm seeing kind of backwards a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, but is that because of the capsation, or has that been going on a long
time? Yeah, well, several things combined, maybe, I don't know. But that was an experience.
I could tell. Yeah, we could tell.
I don't recommend people try it.
Well, yeah, it's as I said, folks, don't try this at home.
Yeah, especially if you're alone because you can't find the refrigerator.
How long did it take before you could see again?
Well, it took probably 10 minutes before I could open my eyes.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I was forcing them open and flushing water. And then I got a pill bottle, and I would fill it up with water and put it around my eye and seal it and turn it up and just blink my eye into the water.
Yeah.
And that helped quite a bit. It burnt quite a bit and helped quite a bit. But I knew I had to get it out. But I wanted to thank everybody for trying to help me and being concerned. And I really do. I appreciate it very much, because you don't realize how people really do think about you or have good feelings till something like that happens, and I realize all these people that I may have been negative toward, feeling toward, that they're just good, normal people too.
Well, you know, I think that's exactly right. We can have differences with people, but that doesn't mean that we're not all people.
Yeah, that's very true. But I got okay and everything, but I still got all my regular stuff.
Are your eyes like tender or sore? Any after effects?
No, the next day after I slept, they weren't at all. But the night before, you talking about red? I wish I'd have took a picture of them. It was red as a chili pepper.
All right. So now, well, I guess we ought to ask this question too. Did it help your feet and your toes? Did it do you any good down there?
No, it did not.
Well, that's disappointing.
Doctor told me to expect some burning and tingling, but he didn't tell me it'd be in my eyes.
Well, I doubt he knew that.
I know it. But God, I've got a lot of neuropathy in my feet and toes from 3 lumbar surgeries that kind of all went bad and all that, and it's just terrible. Sometimes the whole left side of my left foot is numb, and big toes partly, and several other toes partly, and whole bottoms of my feet.
Let me ask you something. I'm sorry. I want to ask you something, because I know somebody else who's in that same situation because of spinal surgery. Have you found anything at all that helps you with that?
Well, for a little bit of pain, I rubbed the Blue Emu on me. Now, to get it on my back, I got to rub it on my door facing and then work my back and forth across the door. a post here that's got a menage of wood in it for putting knickknacks on. And I just rub it on there and rub my back across it and back and forth till I've got the whole area covered on my back. And I'll keep rubbing it till it's pretty much rubbed in from the wood that's on it. And
that's Blue Emu.
And that's how I get it on my back. But Blue Emu, I've been using it, golly, 30 years probably. It's better than anything I've ever found. And it's at Walmart for, I think it's $13 for a little canister. And it's
my friend has never found anything proves that.
I hadn't tried the Blue Emu for my neuropathy because I just don't think it can work. It starts in my lumbar, and you got to go to the source of the problem. And I can, my waistband on my pants can be in the wrong place and shut my legs down. If my belt's too tight or my waistband, even on my underwear, is in the wrong place, the nerves on the outer edges go to. I can rub my back and shoot sparks out of my left big toe.
That's a good trick.
It's a fire. I got a good fire starter. Yeah.
You know, you could probably go on stage with that.
I wonder if the casino down in Danville hire me for a show.
Absolutely. they put you in the main room.
Really, the main exhibit, the idiot.
Yeah, you might wind up on the bill with Wayne Newton or somebody. That'd be great.
Oh, now that'd be really good there. Now, you know, that's something we got in age is in common as age, maybe.
We'll all look forward to that.
I had to have X-rays of both shoulders today and a CT scan on my chest.
What did they see?
Waiting on it. Well, I don't know yet. I asked the girl, I said, "You see anything wrong?" She said, "I got some really good pictures for your doctor to discuss with you."
That's what they always say.
Ken, I was sitting there in that room waiting at the front. Excuse me. And this lady come in. She's probably about my age, around 70-ish. And she was just spry and just happy. And we got to talking a little bit. And she said, I heard her say she was there for a MRI. And she asked me why I was there. I said, I got to have both shoulders x-rayed and a chest CT. She said, well, I got to have an MRI of my head. She said, you have any idea how long that stuff takes? I said, well, it won't take very long at all for your head. She busted out laughing, and then I realized what I'd said. She said, you're right, ain't nothing there. And then the nurse called her back, and she said, I ain't ready to go. I'm talking to this man right now. We having a good time.
Yeah, well, I guess the head one would be a quickie for most of us.
Yeah. I enjoy making people laugh. I do my best to try to be everything's so serious these days. I try to make people laugh.
Well, let me mention something to you about that. I mean, you do a lot of funny stuff. You say a lot of things that make people laugh, but the capsation in the eyes didn't do it. That nobody laughed at that. Just take that out of the act.
That will make you cry. All right. Have a good night, Ken. Take care, buddy.
Thanks for calling. And there we have proof of life from Mr. Draper. It was a bad time for a while, as you heard, but now he's okay, and we are all happy and thankful about that. Let's see. Email. Ken, I'm pleased to hear Mr. Draper. I'm hearing Mr. Draper on the air right now. And glad that he made it through okay. I'm sorry that he's got other problems there that capsation won't fix. Excuse me. I'm sorry he's got other problems there that capsation won't fix, but I'm glad it didn't ruin his eyes. I'm sorry, folks. I apologize. I do. I hope this allergy soon, because chances are you don't enjoy hearing me sit here and cough. Um, but I have no choice. I don't have a cough switch. In radio, you have a thing called a cough switch. When you're about to cough, you just hit that cough switch and you can cough, and it kills your mic and nobody hears you. I don't have that here. So it's going to be raw coughing as it happens. Ken, do you remember two things? Now I've lost the email. Ken, do you remember two things that used to be out there where the fairground was and the Penrose Mall? Do you remember the trampoline place and the root beer restaurant? I remember the trampoline place. What do they call it? I don't remember what they called it. It had kangaroo in it. The name I know it had kangaroo, but I don't remember the kangaroo something. But yeah, there was a trampoline thing where you'd go out there and you'd pay your money and you'd jump on the trampoline. I did that a few times, so I remember that. A root beer restaurant. I'm kind of drawing a blank on the root beer restaurant. I don't remember a root beer restaurant there. In fact, I don't remember a root beer anywhere. So email her. When was that? If you can email her, send me another little note here, and tell me when the restaurant was out there, because I don't have any recollection of that. Anybody remember that? A root beer restaurant where the Penrose Mall is? Oh yeah, here. This says, Ken, it was Kangaroo Capital. This was the trampoline play. It was Kangaroo Capital. And they very cleverly spelled capital with a K to make it match the first letter of kangaroo. Of course, they could have spelled kangaroo with a C to make it match the first letter of capital, but that's not what they did. No, it's not what. Kangaroo Capital is what it was. Now I remember. Kangaroo Capital with a K. And it didn't last. I don't think it lasted very long. I don't think Kangaroo Capital was a big hit out there. In fact, as I recall, I went once and wasn't too excited to go again. And here's some about the root beer restaurant. Ken, the root beer restaurant was called the Dog and Suds. The Dog and Suds, and they had hot dogs and root beer. And it was kind of close to where Hardee's is now. Well, Hardee's isn't now. It was kind of close to where Hardee's was for a while, but not quite in the same place. But the Dog and Suds is what it was. All right. Now I've learned that. And emailer didn't say when it was. So I still don't know when it was. So there we go. And one more. Here's a link to exotic meat markets. Exotic meat markets. Almost out of time. Exotic meat markets offer meats from alligator to zebra. We got a coyote here. Coyote stew meat they have. Water buffalo burgers, antelope, bratwurst sausage, goat sausage with garlic and basil, reindeer hamburgers. Oh, come on. Well, we're gonna eat Donder and Blitzen and Rudolph? I don't think so. Alpaca shoulder roast is available at the exotic meat market. Rack of lamb, French. Bison filet mignon steaks. I've had bison steak. Pork sausage, British bangers. I don't know what a banger is. It's one of those British things. Bison New York States, lamb burgers, elk burgers, antelope Denver leg meat, beaver Cajun sausage. Well, I'm out of time. We got a long list of stuff here that we can get at the meat market, and I'm also going to send them an invoice for that 82 seconds of advertising. And that is all the time we have for Star Talk tonight. We're on the air Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Hope you'll join us next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Ken Eccles.